So initially, I intended to make a video about the whole Anthony Weiner. I usually just say last name. That's kind of a oddity for me. His new allegations and his wife announcing today that they're not going to they're separating. And I was going to speak about everything relating to that and just give my opinion on it, but I had a change of heart, and I had this change of heart because it flashed on the news that Gene Wilder died. And for those of you who don't know, he was mainly known for being Willy Wonka, or that was a role of his that was very notable. It's the one I'm mostly known for, admittedly. And nothing else really comes to my mind when I think of him as far as roles that he was in, because that's my only memory of seeing him in anything. But, I thought about him a little bit more as today progressed, and how over the years, because he was 83, I believe, they said that's how old he was when he died today. I don't recall ever hearing anything about him. No, nothing about what he was working on, no interviews, no one saying, "Oh yeah, let's talk about Genie Wilder. What's he been up to?" And that's kind of my problem. I'm bothered by the idea that we only give somebody attention in any significant capacity when they die or are about to die. You go back to Muhammad Ali, barely in the news for and I'm not talking. I don't really fault it on him necessarily because okay, he was having the issues with his health, and so you can't be as active and doing things. But people could still talk about him, and people did for the most part talk about him. But I'm talking about the media. They completely acted as if the man wasn't alive anymore. No update on anything having to do with him until he had those run-ins with the hospital and little health issues that ultimately led to his death earlier about 2 months ago. So that's my issue with what happened to him. But at the very least, you can say, okay, well, and that's actually kind of the crux of this video, which is that they knew he was going to die. And because of that, they gave him a whole bunch of attention. You go back 7 years ago with Ted Kennedy. They knew he was probably going to die, gave him a whole bunch of attention. And then after he dies, we're writing books about him. We're interviewing his family members. We're playing the funeral on C-SPAN. It's just, why do you go to such lengths for someone who's not alive and then completely ignore the people that are here? Think about David Bowie. When was the last time you heard of anything having to do with him before he passed away earlier this year? I can't think of a single thing. Matter of fact, and I'll admit I'm not someone who listens to any of his music, but the point is, I heard his name probably once or twice my entire life before he passed away. I'm 18, so I guess I wasn't a part of his generation, but it's just the idea to me that you have to, meet your demise to get any recognition. And that's also kind of apparent with some of these. This is a more darker example. These killers, they start fishing and digging and all of that. It's like, what's the point of it? I'd much rather focus on the people that are here now, in the hopes. And I guess you could argue with them. It makes more sense since they're trying to fish out any recurring themes, loner, whatever. But just for the simple fact of when it comes to celebrities, not acknowledging them until they die or are about to die, I think that's ridiculous, and I think there's no good excuse for it, especially when we have all of these different stations and articles dedicated to that stuff. I mean, you can't tell me CNN didn't have one more slot to write something about, I don't know, David Bowie when he was alive, up until last year, however long it was before he was active. Matter of fact, I barely heard about Prince before he passed away. Now people are wearing purple and talking about. I don't like that. And it's not even the whole thing of someone's reputation is elevated by their passing. It's the fact that a person has to die to get attention or come close to it. I mean, I really that bothers me for just the fact of you're going to overlook my life until it comes to its end. I would be offended if I was a celebrity and I got completely ignored up until passing away. That's just my opinion on it. So yeah, I don't like deaths in the limelight. I think you either focus on that person entirely, while they're alive, a story or two each year per celebrity, because we know you could do that. They have, I don't, there's no reason to say they couldn't. Um, and then yeah, cover the death. But all I'm saying is keep it balanced and don't make it to where you have to croak to, be remembered. So thank you for watching and have a good day.